Hi everyone, welcome to my first screencast of the semester. I hope you don't mind me communicating with you this way. As I mentioned in the message text, if you find it annoying or ineffective, please just let me know and I'll make changes to make sure it's suiting everyone's needs. My name is Allison, as I hope you've now learned, and what I'd like to do today is just walk you through a few important things about the course. And just provide this for anybody who's maybe, working on their own timetable to look back on and get caught up as the case may need. So let's see what I can do here. We have our Illuminate course here. You have your typical Getting Started module, which contains mostly the same information that you're used to seeing in every course, and therefore I know through looking at my usage reports that you skip this section. The one thing that's different in this course, or in this section in this course, is the Meet Your Professor page, obviously. You can review this for a little more information about me, but I'm also going to share a more personal video message in your discussion board introductions. That brings us to the next section, which is pretty important. You do probably want to look at the course outline. What I've done here is summarized a schedule of all the evaluations in this course, their weights, and their due dates. So this page is a good place to come just for a quick overview of the important stuff. You may find this weekly schedule helpful, where I've broken down the dates of each week throughout the semester, what the course will be covering, and any due dates or assessments that are taking place. You will notice that I have not listed any discussion forums in this section, or in any of these sections. Those are kind of built into the module, and so as such, it's expected that as you're working through each module's content, there will be discussion boards linked there for you to participate in, and they will close at the end of the module. So it's important that you're just staying on top of the weekly content, including the discussion boards and their due dates. Next, I've created what I'm calling an assessment hub, and that is a list of all the assessments in this course, which is to say everything that you're going to get a grade for. And listed there are brief descriptions of each assessment along with its due date. So you can look through each of those on your own, but I do want to highlight a couple of quick things. There are two assignments in this course that are group-based. One is this group risk assignment, where we've asked you to participate in groups of 4. You will see reminders in Illuminate telling you to sign up or join a group. I've included down below in the text of this announcement message a link to just quickly describe or show you how to sign up for a group if you're having trouble. And I've also included a bit more information about this case study assignment, which you may do individually or in pairs, but even if you choose to do it individually, I'm going to ask you to enroll yourself as a group of 1. Again, more detailed instructions on this are included in the hyperlink down below this video. I will highlight this discussion summary assignment and just share with you one really important piece of the puzzle in this course. This is basically your final assignment. It is based on all of the discussions that you've participated in that are built into those modules or units that I just described above. The individual discussions within the units are not graded individually. However, they will form the basis for this semester ending assignment. So what this means is, if you haven't participated in each of the discussions throughout the semester, you won't be able to participate in this final assignment, which is worth 20% of your grade. So although you do not see individual discussions listed in your grade book, they are still really, really important for you to participate in and keep up with. So heads up on that. That's a really big, as I said, a piece of the puzzle and a piece of your grade that is resting on your participation in the discussion boards. Next in the course, we have a glossary, of terms. This course requires you to familiarize yourself with a lot of legal language, a lot of unfamiliar terms that you would never hear outside a legal environment. And even for people who are native English speakers, a lot of these words are unfamiliar or don't make sense. So what I have tried to do here, what I am continually trying to do, is within the modules, as I encounter a word that you might not be super familiar with, I'm adding it to this glossary of terms to help explain things. So this is always a good place to come if there are concepts or terms that seem confusing. And keep in mind that I will continue to update this throughout the semester. Okay, so now we move on to Unit 1 and the actual content that you're going to need to work through this week. Each week will be laid out the same way, with an introduction, a couple of content pages for you to work through, and then most units will also have a discussion or a little online activity like this one where you see the H5P logo. These are important for you to keep in mind because there is a percentage of your overall grade that is dedicated to participating in these online activities. And this is your first one this week. So whenever you see this H5P logo and you see an activity where you're asked to maybe drag and drop or fill in the blanks or match or, do something to reinforce the learning, that is going to contribute a couple of percentage points to your overall grade of 10% that encompasses all the online activities this semester. So don't skip these and make sure, as I mentioned earlier, that you're not skipping any discussion boards. This one is just introductions. So you're going to be in the same discussion group all semester with 10 or 12 students. The reason I've set it up that way is just so you don't have to communicate in a discussion board with 50 or 60 people. Everything you do in these discussions will be individually assessed and, again, finally contribute to your overall individual discussion summary assignment at the end of the semester. So you'll see in your discussion boards that I've included a message as well, and I will go in there occasionally and participate and see how things are going just to keep the conversation going back and forth. All right, over here on the right, you will see course schedule. Now, this is something I want to talk about and make very clear to you. You'll see here in the course schedule that I have set up optional meeting times, and I've coincided these with the block of time that is in your timetable that was generated through My Centennial. These are optional meeting times where I will go through the course content that week, answer questions, and help you to try to understand some of these complex concepts and topics. Some of the weeks are easier for students to understand than others, but some of them really are quite tricky. So this is your opportunity to drop in. You can come to any one of the 3 sessions, okay? And you don't have to ever come. They're here as an option for you. If you're not able to attend, and I know most of you are working, you have other things going on, they'll all be recorded. And I'm just going to experiment with this. I want to be available for you for help and to guide you through this course, but I'm also not going to keep doing this all semester if nobody ever comes. So this is my experiment for the first few weeks of the semester. I hope you can drop in. I understand that you might come and go, maybe during a lunch break at work or, at a time that is convenient for you. You'll notice that the Tuesday morning option, I've started it at 9, or I will start it at 9, because I don't think anyone ever wants to join at 8:30. And They may last 30 minutes. They may last an hour. I don't ever expect that they'll go longer than an hour and a half. And again, you're free to come and go as you please, even if you can just pop in for 10 minutes to introduce yourself. I will post a separate announcement message regarding class meeting times just to make sure that it's there in the announcement feed for everybody to refer back to and there for everybody to understand. So I think that is all I wanted to go over with you right now. Again, my first online drop-in or class meeting time will take place tomorrow, Thursday, at 12:30. And we will use the Teams link that is in that class schedule down below. I hope to see some of you there, but I totally understand if I can't or if you can't be there. But I'll leave you for now by saying, please, 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 email me anytime, send me a message on Luminate, ask me those questions, and also give me feedback. I'm going to be totally honest with you. This is not a course that I designed or created or wrote. I like some of the content in this course, but I also know that there are opportunities for improvement. So if you are struggling with the course, if you're finding it difficult to navigate, if you're finding the content difficult, if you see things that are errors or that don't make sense, please tell me. I am working quite a bit behind the scenes to make improvements and changes to this course before you work your way through it, but there are going to be things that aren't as perfect as I would like them. So don't shy away from sharing that with me so that I can continue to make changes for upcoming future semesters. You can always reach me at amckenzie@centennialcollege.ca. I, of course, will put my email address again in the text of this message below. But feel free to reach out, even if it's just to introduce yourself. And I look forward to seeing you online, either in a recorded format or live in one of our drop-in sessions in the upcoming days or weeks. Take care.